so loud.
No vests.
Alright, Jay, we got episode 18 tonight. How are we doing tonight, though? Let's start off how we always start.
Doing great. You know, that usually doesn't change. You know, it's getting to be the heat of the summer. You know, things are turning up. I know I said that last week with Memorial Day weekend, but, you know, the summer is catching their stride, I would say. So I'm ready for I think our boy Chet Hanks said it's a white boy summer. So I don't know if you're ready for that, but I think I am.
think it is a white boy summer now. I don't want to go into too much detail into what that entails, but I know Bill Gates is out here this summer. I mean, he's going to be roaming around doing his thing. I think it's a white boy summer. I think that's
dollar bill. Yeah, dollar bill he's out and on the prowl, so anything could happen this summer. That's kind of where my head's at.
Anything might go this summer. I think with last summer, you know, people taking the summer off, if you will.
Yeah.
From the parties, you know, I think people are coming back, and you can just feel in the air. I mean, people are done with COVID, and people are absolutely letting it loose already. And it's not even July 4th weekend. You know what I'm saying? There's still so much buildup.
Yeah, they're eager to get involved. You know, they haven't been outside, and yeah, they're itching, and yeah, any chance they get, you know, people are racing to have a little bit of fun. So that's good to see. You know, something we could get into. We usually don't dabble into the current events, but something happened this weekend that was pretty big, I would say, in the entertainment world. The Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather fight. Now, I was able to watch it. I, in fact, paid pay-per-view just out of the, you know, point of I'm a Floyd Mayweather guy. I'm tried and true.
You're on the money team?
I'm on the money team, you know what I'm saying? So I felt that it was only right. I bought pretty much all the Mayweather fights that I can remember. So not me, but eventually.
Now,
you get the point. So I was able to watch it. Were you able to watch it this week?
I didn't watch it, and I most certainly would not pay money for something so heinous as a Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather fight. I mean, would you buy it again, Jay, if you could go back in time? Would you pay... What did you pay, $40-$50 for it?
I think it was $50, yeah, $49.99.
Now, would you pay that again?
You know, I never looked at it like that, and I think I probably would. And you know, basically, like if Floyd Mayweather were to fight, he's an entertaining person, and everything that comes with it is entertaining. And then there was a little bit of added spice. You know, no one really, the Paul brothers are definitely annoying. So like just the dice roll that maybe they get knocked out, I feel like I'll pay $50 for that every time. I don't know, that's just me.
Now, I watched a video that someone showed me where it looked like Floyd honestly knocked him out and then like held him up and let him regain consciousness to keep the show going, keep the clickbait. Jay, are you a clickbait guy? I mean, it's that easy to just kind of get you to throw out $50 just to say, I mean, did you pay for it so you could say like, oh, I watched the fight? Or like, were you actually thinking like, oh man, there's a chance that this is going to be, you know, like a Thrilla in Manila, like an all-time fight, you know what I'm saying?
No, I wasn't expecting like, you know, Ali versus Frazier or anything like that. But I was entertained. Floyd's fights are usually boring, you know what I'm saying? No one ever can punch him.
No.
And I just kind of wanted to, I was hoping for a knockout. I was hoping he put the big guy down. And it kind of looked like he was trying. Now, I know the video you're talking about. In real time, he definitely rocked him, don't get me wrong. But it didn't look like he was out cold, you know what I'm saying? Like, he definitely stumbled. I think if you slow anything down, you know, long enough, you're like, dude, he was unconscious there for a second. It's like, yeah, probably, but
I think there are times during the episode that you go unconscious. I mean, I think your screen's frozen, but really, I mean, you're just out doing your own thing.
Yeah, no, I'm a listener. I'm a good listener. I've been told that before, but yeah, I mean, you slow it down, and anything looks like that. You know, they both knew they were making a bunch of money. it did look like he was trying to knock him out. Maybe he was going a little easy on him, but I was just hoping someone got knocked out.
I've been told that I'm a horrible listener.
I would agree. I would probably agree.
I mean, I know I'm not a good listener, and it's something that I've tried to work on. But honestly, when other people are talking, I'm either thinking about two things: one, how much longer they can be talking about whatever they're talking about. Second thing is how am I gonna talk about something I want to talk about right when they're done? You know, like I'm already brewing my story or how I'm gonna I wouldn't even say one up, but just how I'm gonna come in and just steal the thunder in the show while they're still talking. Sometimes people like that had nothing to do with what we were talking about. It's like I understand that, but at least
it doesn't matter.
It's my world now. You guys just live in it, right?
Yeah, you would on the internet. It's a popular term right now to say like, "Oh, you're giving off main character vibes." Like you think you're the main character, and it's like everyone has that. That's kind of a bad term, but some people do take it to an extreme, and I would put you in that category for sure.
You're boxing me in the main character category.
Yeah, I would. You don't like to play the side role. You're not a be my type of guy.
No.
That's okay. So you didn't see the fight. You weren't entertained. What are your thoughts on just like celebrity boxing in general? Just like anyone with a famous name, they get thrown in the ring. Like, are you into that? I think I am.
I think I'm very opposed to it on multiple fronts. I think, now we have like Aaron Rodgers and Bryson DeChambeau facing off like Tom Brady and Phil Mickelson in the golf thing, and like they did it with like Tiger, Peyton Manning, Brady, and Mickelson, and all it is just a flat out money grab. Like people who are big Brady fans or people who are big Chad Ochocinco fans or big Floyd Mayweather fans, like you bought the $50 package just because he's your guy, you want to see him, whatever.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you're paying for absolute garbage entertainment, and it's a disgrace to boxing. It's a disgrace to guys that are actually on tour that maybe aren't winning a lot but are top 30 golfer in the world that aren't making a ton of money. You know what I'm saying? They're not in that household name, but they're working their way up. Well, okay, a guy like Steph Curry can go out and play on a golf course and people are gonna watch him play even though you're much better than him. I think it's almost like a disgrace to especially boxing with just the history of boxing. I just can't buy into just a YouTube guy who gets a ton of clicks, hopping in a ring and honestly they don't look like they're horrible boxers. That's not what I'm saying, but it's just obviously like a legitimate professional fighter would take them down. That's all I'm saying.
Right, and I totally feel you. Like the people that are have been grinding the ranks and they're trying to claw their way up, but maybe there's like some kind of compromise, because at the end of the day people want to see what they want to see, you know what I'm saying? So like you have like the celebrity match that probably is going to get a lot of eyes, and then on the undercard, you know what I'm saying, you throw on these up and coming like there was some good fights on the card. There was like a legitimate two real boxers fighting, and it's like I wouldn't have watched that any other day of the week.
I don't know why,
but I happened to watch it because it was on that card.
I don't know why boxing is so much different, because realistically, like no one really tunes into like the NBA celebrity game. Like no one really wants to watch like Ice Cube D up Justin Bieber on the basketball court. Like no one cares. But like if they put gloves on and you put them in like the octagon, like people might be like, all right, like I want to see blank and blank fight whoever it is. But like certain sport, it just like doesn't work. Like JJ Watt playing softball, like okay, he plays softball just like the rest of us, but if you threw him in the ring with Conor McGregor, all right, now I think I might tune in and they might be able to make. And that's the thing, what happens is like they're doing it because they're not splitting up the profit. So like when basically like a whole PGA tournament goes on, you have to pay a ton of people. Well, okay, if Mickelson, Bryce DeChambeau, Aaron Rodgers, and Tom Brady, that's four guys. They hire a camera crew, whatever, sound crew. They're keeping 100% of that pot. They're walking away with at least $1 million in their pocket, guaranteed money, and all they have to do is just walk around the course, mic'd up, talk shit to each other, and have a couple nice chips, and people are like, "Wow, it was great." No, it sucked. It sucked.
See, yeah, I don't know. I think, to go back to your question on what makes boxing different, I think they just have a lot more to lose on the line. Like the potential that someone could get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
That's a
everyone
fair
wants
point.
to see that. And with like a tennis match or a baseball, celebrity softball game, like you said, it's like, someone can, make a fool of themselves and it's not that big of a deal. Whereas if they get knocked out on, live pay-per-view, like that's a bad look. I'm going to throw a hypothetical out there and I want to know if you would watch it or not, because I guarantee I would. Jake Paul, Wiz Khalifa. I think Wiz Khalifa would knock Jake Paul out. He's been in the gym. Buff Khalifa. He's made a transformation. You wouldn't watch it, or you don't think he would knock him out?
He wouldn't even come close to touching Jake Paul. Now I've been watching boxing.
So you think he's a legitimate boxer?
So I've been watching boxing for probably about as long as you've been watching boxing. I know footwork and hands when I see them. Now I'm not saying Jake Paul is like a top. I'm not unrealistic about it, but I'm telling you that he packs a serious punch. Like he does have power, and his jaw's tougher than people think. I think he could go in there. And I know Wiz Khalifa thinks he's tough and he's from Pittsburgh, but he would end up on the deck. That's all I gotta tell you.
He's been training real deal. Like,
yeah, I know.
I think he's done more like octagon type stuff, but
Jalen, if that fight happens, we'll link up and we'll bet on it. I got JP taking that home all day.
I think there's no shot of it happening, but it would be very interesting. It sounds like you're interested though in like the next Jake Paul fight.
I did watch his last fight, and I watched it at a bar. I didn't have to pay for it,
Right.
Just had to order a couple beers. There was no cover charge, whatever. But I did go out of my way to watch it. It is what it is, man. I think that's enough time spent on the Paul brothers.
Yeah, they've.
Jalen, do you want to get into? You want to just get into red flags of the week? I think we should just bang them out right now.
Yeah, let's bang out the red flags of the week. I know people, they usually look forward to that, so we'll give the people what they want.
You want to go first or second?
Yeah, I'll go first. This one, this one you might not catch, and you got to be on your P's and Q's to catch this one. You may have a young lady over, and if she's a little bit too familiar with the technology, like maybe you got the Xbox as your entertainment, and she's like, oh, you have this game, that game, like, oh, like if she's a little bit too into the games and it goes even deeper. Let's say you're playing a game and she's maybe calling out like specific settings within the games. You know what I'm saying? If she's just a little bit too detailed in the game, you just have to, it's a red flag. And this, I'm only going to go for the girls because guys are usually the gamers, right? Now, I play video games. If a girl were to come through and then just like know a little bit too much, I would just assume flags pop off. That's all I'm saying. You just assume a couple things. Would you agree with that?
Now, I don't know how often people are running into this scenario, if anyone has truly ever ran into this scenario.
I think they have.
I don't know if they have. Now, we're going to have to get some feedback from the people out there. I mean, I would say that like the gamer chicks could be a little bit of a red flag, but I would say the fact that why are you playing video games? Like, are you wrapping up an online match when she comes over? Like, what's going on here, Jay? Where are we going?
That's why I said this. That's why I said this one you might not catch, because like this is probably you're in like a committed relationship, and they're hanging out, they're maybe doing something, watching something, and you might crank out a quick war zone with the boys or something, and it's a scenario like that where, she's in the background and you're kind of maybe playing, it's maybe some simultaneous, and then she just might know a little bit too. Like if you're playing zombies or something and she knows like, oh, you didn't max reload before you didn't reload before you picked up that max.
She's calling
reload.
out like behind you, like there's a guy behind you, or like they're flanking you, Jalen. You're getting flanked from your
right.
Southeast.
You're just like, hold on, you don't know those. I never taught you those things. So like, where have you picked these things up? That's kind of where the red flag is there. That's
no, I guess I understand that. I think I think the girls might have a more legitimate red flag on this. The guys that just probably can't put the controller down. You know what I'm saying? Like, just has to be on Warzone or you know, playing video games all the time.
Dude, sometimes Verdansk, you know, you can't escape it. You gotta just drop a couple.
No, I get that. I actually had one of the first times I hung out with a girl. I went over to her house and she was like, "Oh, do you wanna, you know, play some Mario Kart?" And I was like, "You're gonna catch smoke. It is what it is. But yeah, let's do this thing." She pulls out the Nintendo 64. Now I'm like, now you have I was intrigued before. Now you have my attention. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, if a chick has the Nintendo 64, like, green light is go. Like, she's pulling out the classic game system on me. I'm like, you know, I'm having a family picnic tomorrow. Like, maybe you should pull up. No, I'm joking. But seriously,
I feel you. There's kind of levels to everything, and I agree. Like, a nice touch with the N64 Mario Kart, like, you can't beat that.
Then you know, we start playing, and she's like, "What course do you want? Like, what character?" I'm always like, Yoshi, whatever. I'm like, "Wow, like, how often do you play?" She's like, "Not often." Dude, she's like lapping me. You know, dropping bananas in the perfect spot, hitting me with the green, the red shells. I'm like, it's not fun. Then she takes me to, like, you know, Bowser's Castle, like her home court. I swear it was her home court. Like, she's like, okay, you know, we're doing the circuit. She's already up 2-0. She takes me to Bowser's Castle, and she's just dusting me. Not fun for anyone.
So you're kind of playing into what I'm saying here. You would, in my mind at least, a red flag would pop up. I'm not the first guy to come over here and play this N64. She's obviously had her practice on multitude of people coming in and out of here, and she's playing a lot more of that Mario Kart than you think. Like you said, she was a lot better than you had.
No, I don't. I mean, Jalen, I think that'd be a little weird to be like. I don't know. Like, is that could
you
that
said
be?
She didn't play. She said that she didn't play often, but she was just lapping you, bro. Like.
But I mean,
she
could
was
be
better than you thought.
She played a few rounds earlier that day. You know, lunch break at work. She comes home, throws on the Nintendo 64. She knows I'm coming over later. You know, she's run. You know, she's getting used to those maps. I don't know. I don't know if I'm red flagging it because of the Nintendo 64, but like a girl who's like, "Oh, I play zombies" or something like that. It's like you don't really play zombies. Like, you know what zombies is. You don't play zombies. You don't play zombies.
And that's what I mean. It's like someone had to like teach you the intricacies of the zombies.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you got a little like you start doing the math? It's like, hold on, do you got like a little brother that plays Xbox? Like, no. Like, I'm just saying, like, you should be thinking.
My red flag is a little bit more general, and I think this is a red flag for both guys and girls. Like, I've had some of my friends that don't do this, and I red flag them. I'm like, I don't know why I'm friends with you. Like, honest to God, like, it's bad. And, you know, girls, it's bad as well. The people that don't go to, like, outdoor concerts in the summer are the worst type of people. I'm red flagging you all day. And I want to...
like, they don't like it? They refuse it?
No, let me finish this RFW. Now... The problem is like, you know, people might go to like Summerfest and be like, "Oh, like I went to an outdoor concert." No, I'm talking you gotta go to like Alpine Valley or like out to like a music festival that's like, you know, basically like lawn seats, or like you go see a band play, like that's a headliner. Like, I'm not talking about Summerfest, like that doesn't count. Like, just because you went to T-Pain at Summerfest does not mean you went to an outdoor concert. You gotta go to like a legitimate outdoor concert, like, and it'll go years. Like, I'll ask some of my friends, like, you go to any good concerts? They're like, Ludacris, Nelly, T-Pain, Jason Derulo, and Logic. It's like, have you ever been to a real, like, grown adult concert, like, with people walking around, like, you know, not people in braces and high schoolers? Like, have you ever been to Alpine Valley, like a real music concert? I'm absolutely red flagging that. People who even go to rap concerts, like, more than once every, like, I would say, like, 2 to 3 years, I'm red flagging, because the problem with rap... Now, I like rap music. I'll tell you, I like rap music. One, tickets are crazy expensive, but that could apply to outdoor as well. Number two, the artist you pay to go see only plays for like an hour and 10 minutes. And they only play like that, if you saw Kanye West in Chicago and then you see him in Milwaukee, he will play the exact same 11 songs he did, on Thursday night that he'll play on Saturday. So you can't go see them, follow them on tour. Like, maybe they'll change, like, a song or two, but, like, Good Life is going to be played. Like, Jesus Walks is going to come out. But, like, if you actually go see, like, a real band, like Zach Brown Band or, like, Dave Matthews or Hootie and the Blowfish or whomever your band is, like, John Mayer, it doesn't matter. You got to go out and you got to see a legitimate artist perform outside at a beautiful venue and really soak that. And I think people that don't do that, I don't trust. I honestly, I red flag them. I really red flag them. I don't like it, and I don't stand for it at all.
Now, I just want to be clear because we've dabbled in this range before. We've said that the rave goers in the deep. So when you dabbled into that middle of nowhere, like camping, that we don't want to toe into that now. There's a fine line that we want to get to. So, but I do agree. Like, you enjoying good live music. Basically, I'm gonna agree with you on most fronts because good live music is great. You know what I'm saying? And if you're depriving yourself of that, there has to be some kind of deeper, darker reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't understand because, and the whole thing with how you follow a band on tour maybe and you might not see the same show. I have had a little bit of experience with that. Now, I'm not a big, like, if a band, let's say, is coming for the weekend, I'm not really trying to go all 3 days. That's not really that's not my play. But I have, had friends that have, like, insisted, like, no, like, Saturday's gonna be much better. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay. And they do play, like, almost completely different shows. So I do agree. There's a lot more to get into with those other kind of acts. I would agree with you.
Like when I know people know I'm a pretty big Dave Matthews fan, but, like, he'll play for 4 hours each night, like, legitimately from, like, 9 p.m. to, like, 1 in the morning with, like, maybe, like, a 20-minute break in the middle.
Right.
And, like, you pay $70 compared to, like, you're going to pay, like, $140 to go see Travis Scott in a arena. Like,
right.
You can't, like, really get, like, that. Honestly, like, it's a lot more fun to get drunk outside dancing on a lawn than it is to be crowded with, like, a seat behind you, and you can't smoke. There's no lighters. You can't light up in an arena, and if you do, it's sketch.
Yeah. I mean, they say you can't, but you can't.
But just the like, what's the value there? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it worries me that people. I'm not saying you can't go see Travis Scott. That's not what I'm saying. You can go do whatever the fuck you want to do, but at the end of the day, you gotta go at least to one legitimate music concert. I'd say every summer, if not more. That's my limit. And if people go, like, multiple years without seeing, like, a good show, I'm red flagging them hard.
Yeah. And I agree that it's just a much more comfortable setting, the outdoor, enjoyment of
good
it.
Vibes.
Where we're way better vibe than being inside and it's all hot and cramped. It's there's, like, limited space where, like, usually at the outdoors, like, you can kind of spread out as far as you want, really. Yeah. And it I agree. I'm with you.
All right. I know we want to do a follow-up story, so I'll let you command.
We did plan that. It seemed as if you were partaking in what we later found out was, or you know what? Let's backtrack here. Because you like to speak in hypotheticals. Hypothetically, someone may have. I think what we have a case of here.
Whoa, where are we going with this, Jay? Where are we going with this, Jay?
I don't know which angle we want to attack this. I think we've ran into a scenario that a lot of Novesters have ran into out there, and that's when someone may be, they get to the ocean or they get to the pool, and their first instinct is, I'm jumping right in the deep end. I'm not warming up. I'm not testing the temperatures of the waters. I'm going to the deep end and I'm hitting that cannonball. You know what I'm saying? Whether or not I'm ready for it or not. And so I think, we've bumped into that a little bit. And I just want to know, maybe you can shed a little bit of the experience as to what it's like jumping in the deep end, because I think what we found out is that you've now attended a family vacation with a potential vest. Would you agree? A potential vest type situation.
No, I did find myself on a family vacation just for 2 nights. It was a great time. Jay, if there's a diving board and the water's warm, I don't see reason to not cannonball. You know what I'm saying?
That's the most fun thing to do, I think.
It is fun. I think people are, I think nowadays, more like, I would just say people just play it so safe nowadays, and they just they want just the most boring shit in the world. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I want someone who's my age, makes around the same values. It's just these fucking check marks that people have, and if they check out enough boxes, well, okay, it makes sense. I like to just have more fun with it. You know what I'm saying? Do what I feel is right, what's natural. Keep it spontaneous, keep it fun.
I said it a couple weeks ago. Comfort is it's a myth. You want to live in that uncomfort. So you maybe don't know this person that much, but you're like, fuck it, let's go.
No, I think it's a great way to honestly get to know someone. Fairly quickly. It'd just be like going on a vacation and hanging out, doing stuff like the two of you getting to know each other. It was a great time. I ended up at Denver University with one of our former guests, Sonia Carans.
Nice.
I got to see the tour of Denver University, maybe a little bit more than I initially wanted to. She dragged us across campus 3 or 4 times. But it was a beautiful campus. Denver University has a lot of really cool people. I don't know if they're cracking into they're not surpassing the Dayton Flyers. That's all I'm gonna say in terms of hottest girls in the USA for college campuses. They're not in that tier, is what I'd say.
So this trip turned into a bit of R&D again.
Yes, it did. Well, Jay, I don't make trips without doing a little research and development.
You're always working.
I'm always on the clock. I'm always on the no vest ticker. But no, it was a blast. I don't know. Where are we going with this, Jay?
So, I mean, there was, like I said in the beginning, there's a lot of angles to attack on this. And another thing that came up in this scenario, another, thing that we've stressed to the Novesters is when you flirt with that sugar daddy line. Now, it sounds from some of the claims that you had been making, or hypothetically someone had been making, that we were towing that line. Now, so I think if we were to circle back to the episode, I think we said, what was it, 3 to 4 dates maximum or something like that? I don't remember what we agreed upon.
Now, when someone hypothetically made this claim, it was before they received a Venmo for a decent portion. But no, I mean, Denver was, it's not cheap being out there. Ran up a pretty decent tab, but for the most part, it wasn't. It was pretty much split down the middle, is what I would say.
But so you were nervous that it was getting there, but
no, I want to tell a story. I want to tell a story from this weekend. Please. So I'm out there in Colorado Springs, which is about an hour and a half away from Denver. And thankfully, the person I was out there with doesn't listen to the podcast. Due to choice, she knows about it. She just doesn't listen. Whatever. Maybe one day. But so we're in Colorado Springs. We're an hour and a half away from Denver, and we have to go to Denver. I'm flying out of Denver, and so this girl's cousin's girlfriend. Okay, cousin's girlfriend. This girl's cousin's girlfriend, and she's driving past Denver to go back to her hometown. So we're like, yeah, can we get a ride to Denver? We need a ride. We're flexible. Any time of the day works for us. Whenever you get off work or you're ready to go, we'll jump in your car and we'll go. She's like, yeah, that's fine. Can you just throw in for gas money? And we're like, yeah, absolutely. We have no way of getting from Colorado Springs to Denver. So, yeah, we'll throw in for gas money. Then we get, we're driving, and she's like, oh, can I just, like, drop you, like, right off the highway, and then you guys can just, like, Uber to the hotel? And we're like, why? Why not just drive us, like, the extra 10 minutes so we don't have to sit on the side of the road with our bags? You know what I'm saying? Like, I got my luggage with me.
Right.
Like, I don't want to be sitting at a Starbucks with my luggage. Like, get out of here. No, just drop us off. So she does that. And then sends a Venmo request for $25. 25. Like, this was supposed to be like, this is like you helping out one of your buddies. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just do good favors for people. And like, yeah, I have no problem tossing in for gas. Hour, 15, 20-minute trip. I'll throw you like 10 bones. Maybe even like the 15, like go get yourself a soda and some chips at the local gas station, whatever. But 25, like I'm not trying to get.
They were going that way. I think what people are going to forget is that they were going that way anyway.
Yeah, and they weren't driving back. Yeah,
right.
So they're going right through it. Yeah, they're going right through it. So I was like, I found myself in a very uncomfortable scenario because it's like, she got the Venmo request, not me. And I was like, well, I'm not paying it. So now you need to tell her you're not paying it. So it turned into this whole ordeal. Luckily, she just said, I'm not paying it. Paid her $10 and just literally just stopped responding to her text. But yeah, I mean, people forget that like sometimes you just do things to be good, good people. And you shouldn't be trying to fleece like your boyfriend's family out of like it made no sense. And like what people forget is that a lot of times, and I will say that this is something I've noticed specifically with women, is a lot of women are scared to have confrontation with other women. Like as soon as confrontation happens, they'll immediately retreat. That you see happen all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh, how many girls would just be like, oh yeah, like I'll Venmo you. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't even care. They just do it. It's just natural. But I was glad,
they'll do a lot of times, they'll do, like you said, they avoid the confrontation. So they just agree. They'll just pay the money or whatever it is. But then they'll go back and then they'll be like, oh, like, I can't believe, that this happened.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Like, well,
shit-talk
you kind of participated in it.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
There'll be the shit talking behind the back. But I was, she showed like a little bit of stones and basically told this girl like, no, it's just a no-go. We're not gonna fly for that. So that was some mad respect. I was getting down with that.
She did or did not take you to the hotel?
She did take us to the hotel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that factors in a little bit, but still, like, I don't even like you, or I don't know if you said this, but if I'm going that way anyways, I don't even know that I'm really going to ask for gas money. It's like, I'm going that way. Like, I would have had to.
Or like buy me lunch or buy me a beer.
Right. And if you're willing to, throw something my way because of it, like, that's cool. I'll definitely accept. But I don't like, I think also I don't think on Venmo or Cash App or anything, there shouldn't be a request feature. No. That's way too passive aggressive for me. If you can't like verbally say like, yo, you owe me this, pay me this, you have to like send it in like a message on this app. I think that's pretty weak. Like if they like, imagine if she would have said in the car to your face, like, okay, like you want to throw me $25? You would have been like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, she didn't have the heart to do that. She had to wait till you left and then like kind of sent it in the Venmo. I think that's super weak. I'm out on Venmo requests. What do you think on that?
I would say like sometimes I'll shoot the Venmo request just because honestly, like, it's not passive aggressive. It's just people, like, it's like if I go to like a restaurant or whatever and they just throw it on one bill, like I'll pay for it and then I'll divide it up by however, whoever ate whatever. And it's like, you owe me this. And then if you don't get me my money within like a day, like, I'm just shooting you, like, a request just because it's, like, I don't want to have to text you. Like, I know how much it is. Like, I looked at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just putting in your inbox. Now, I'm not going to, like, request you and then, like, text you, like, a day later. Like, it could be in there for, like, a week or 2 weeks. Like, I really don't care. It's just, like, if I go back to my Venmo in, like, a week, I'm like, oh, he still owes me $20. Like, it's basically like a note for me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I don't use
I guess
this like
I'm not too active on the Venmos and all that, but I guess that's just kind of the look that I get from it. But I guess it could be a helpful tool at some point. So
yeah. So that was my story. It was a great weekend. You know, I will say that there's a lot of drug addicts in Denver. Like, Denver's a beautiful. I got to go to Coors Field. Denver is beautiful, but man, their city, dude. There's so many just homeless people that are drugged out, yelling, screaming, dancing, like
yeah, that's
sleeping on the
pretty much any big
sidewalk.
city you go to.
It's
nowadays.
worse though. It's worse than Chicago. It's worse than really any city I've been to in my life. I've never seen. I wouldn't even say homeless. I would just say so many drug addicts. Like, I saw a guy literally put on like a sling or like, you know, like tie his arm up. I'm pretty sure to shoot up like in the middle of 16th Street, which is like the heart of downtown. It's like, I think that there's you know, I don't think that they're too hard on like busting people for drugs out there. Obviously,
I guess maybe I'm a little bit desensitized, having spent a lot of time in San Francisco over the past few years, but because San Francisco is also just, it's insane what the things you see on the streets. It's crazy. So yeah, Denver, I'm assuming it's pretty bad as well.
Like in I've stated this on MVP before. Like, I'm not I don't give money to the homeless, and it's not a weird flex. I just don't like it. I don't like the concept of it. I feel like I'm enabling them. And honestly, I just wonder. Because I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Like, where do homeless people come from? You know what I'm saying? Because I've never met anyone in my lifetime that I know of who's ever gone homeless. And I think it's just like, I don't know. Like, why are there so many people that, like, I mean, how much money and time and effort and, like, in support we give people and tools to not go down. Like, how does that, and I think it's obviously starts with addiction, obviously. But I think it's just kind of depressing to see how many people just, like, and I always think to myself, it's like, how many bridges did these people have to burn in order to get to this point? Because, like, basically, you have to cut off all your friends, family, and whoever tries to help you, you burn them to the point where they're like, all right, man, like, I got my own shit to focus on. I got my own family. I got my own friends. You know, you can go walk the streets, whatever.
Right.
So.
I agree. It's crazy. And yeah, something you like, where do they come from? Like, where are they going? I've heard a lot of wild stories of, like, you know, people will say they'll just walk up to the homeless people and they'll hand them like $100 and like a train ticket. And they're like, here, just like get the hell, you know, go to wherever this train ticket takes you and just get the hell out of here. Just like trying to combat, you know, homelessness. They're like, we don't want them here, but we don't really want to do anything with them. So let's just like send them on their way. So yeah, you see that all the time. Like, you know, people in LA, like, oh yeah, I'm from wherever or anything like that. And then in LA, they'll ship people back, you know, to the east, just like, get them out of here. Like, we have too many of you guys. We need to move. I think that's like a documentary that could be in the making right now, is the migration of homeless people in America. It's probably crazier than we think.
It's absolutely insane.
I do have a funny story also about, like you said, you don't like to give money to the homeless people. I witnessed, so it was a similar scenario to, you know, they kind of waited until the light turned green so that they didn't have like an awkward, they wanted to kind of just pass this guy the money as they were rolling past, and they were like the second car back. So the light turns green and he scoots up a little bit and, you know, holds the money out to the homeless guy. And the homeless guy was just, I don't know if he was just high or what, but he was just looking straight off into space and didn't realize that the person was trying to hand him cold hard cash, and just literally stood there, and eventually the car just pulled away. But it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Like, the guy was out there begging for money, but showed no sense of urgency when someone was willing to give him money. It was the funniest thing I've seen in a long time.
Oh man, that's too much. That is too funny. But no, I mean, Colorado was a great time. I'd recommend it to anyone. I did have, like, so obviously marijuana is legal in Colorado. Right. And I did, like,
did you dabble at all?
I did dabble a little bit, and I forgot that I had an empty dab pen in my backpack when I brought it through security. It was in like my front zipper of my backpack, so on the outermost edge. I'm going through security, and then all of a sudden, like, my bag gets flagged, and they send it into like this side pile. I'm like,
Right.
that's my backpack. Like, I just kept saying it to us. I'm like, that's my backpack. Like, what are they doing with my backpack? Give me my backpack. The TSA member's like, hold on, sir. Like, I just need to search it real quick. We're just going to look through it. Don't worry. Probably nothing. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I left my empty dab pen in there. I'm positive. I didn't really see it didn't see it on the hotel ground when I was leaving.
Right.
Like, I definitely just left it in there. And so he just opens up like the big pocket, takes out I had like this like foldable cooler. He pulls out the foldable cooler, puts it back in, zips it up. He's like, "You're good, bro." It's like, "Thanks, man."
Yeah,
Get to the terminal, open it up. Dab pen's right there. I'm like, "Yikes."
Yeah, I've had a lot of experience with TSA, and I will say that they are definitely not looking for anything in that category. Like it could be right in front of them, and 9 times out of 10, I don't even think they're gonna do anything.
No.
And that's most places, especially in places that it's legal. They're just like, they're looking for bombs and shit. They don't really care.
No, that's
weird
exactly what it
liquids
is.
and weird other, anything kind of liquidy. That's what they're gonna be like.
I did have a lady like who got caught. Like, she must have been trying to bring through a serious amount, because she was in the line next to me. There had like 7 or 8 TSA members surrounding her, and she was just yelling like, "Oh, my boyfriend got through here just fine, but you want to do it to me," because she played the woman card. Like, I mean, if that's the card you're playing, like, you gotta find a better card. Like, you gotta get it. You can't just come out with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you're harassing me because I'm a woman. It's like, no, woman, you gotta listen here. You're trying to smuggle drugs through a federal airport. Like, you gotta get it together, lady. But yeah. Anything else, Jay?
No, I mean, I think there's a lot, to unpack, but I think we've covered a lot. It's basically, you just gotta know what you're swimming. You know the waters you're swimming. I think that's.
I have
the
my
outline
flotation
of the,
devices on.
Just
I
be
know how to
prepared.
navigate the waters.
Right, and as long as you and that's the whole thing with this. We say these red flags, and we're not telling people that these are, no go, abort mission. We're just telling you, pack your fucking floaties. Hope you got your life vest properly strapped, because it's gonna get wavy in those pools.
I did hear.
Oceans. That's all we're saying.
I did hear real recently that a lot of red flags apply to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And when those red flags apply to you, you gotta look yourself in the mirror and you gotta say, like, do I need my stuffed animal on my bed? Like, do I need my blankie on my bed? Like, those are things like you need to internally process.
Right.
Like,
you need to pick and choose which battles.
Yeah.
You need to pick and choose your battles.
Absolutely. Jay, I think that's all we got. I want to say we are going to have, so we got 2 more episodes on season 1. We got episode 19 coming up next week, and then the grand finale on 20. And we are going to have guests both weeks. So we're going to have a guest 19 and we're going to have a guest 20. We're looking forward to a great end of the season. Our numbers are booming. I mean, Barstool keeps sending us DMs. You guys need to drop out. I think they're slightly worried.
And shouts out, we were looking at the analytics. We picked up a lot of unique listeners. Shouts out to the people out in Germany, and I know we got a little following out in Delaware. You know what I'm saying? Just little niche areas we reach. Our reach is it's becoming insane.
It absolutely is insane, and I would say we're looking at local sponsorships. Now, we can't tell you which and who we might sign with at some point, but there are local places that are reaching out that want a commercial on MVP.
They want a piece.
They want a piece of the pie. Everyone, when you make it to where we're at, everyone wants a little piece of the pie. All this, it's only going up from here. We appreciate you guys listening week in, week out, and we're looking to a great end of season 1. Jay, anything else you wanna say before we sign off?
Subscribe to the YouTube, man. You guys we still get more viewers than subscribers, and that's an issue. Click it, hit the bell so you know when you're watching. You know what I'm saying? On and just a little heads up for those out there. We say these drop on Thursday. We're talking Wednesday at midnight. We that's how we're coming. This is ready for you early in the morning. Hit that bell, hit it all, so you know when we drop, it's coming right to you.
It's coming right to you live. Click it or ticket, people.
Yeah.
All right, that is episode 18. MVP signing off. Thank you.